because Vader told him that Kazdan Paratus was far more powerful than he was. The apprentice proves his master wrong by defeating Paratus anyway. The story is showing something here. Whenever people try to measure Starkiller using their usual idea of what powerful means, he keeps going beyond it. Another challenge presents itself. Felucia turns up the difficulty in a different way. The planet is teeming with wild Force energy and dangerous creatures. Starkiller calmly cuts through the local Force-sensitive warriors. He kills some with jagged bolts of Sith lightning, throws giant tree trunks after those who try to run, and even rides a river beast using the Force to keep his footing. When a Rancor rider attacks, he brings down both rider and beast with lightning. Then, there is the great Sarlacc and Shaak Ti. Starkiller sends a bolt of lightning into the flesh of the Sarlacc pit, making the ancient monster roar and thrash. That breaks the focus of Shaak Ti, who is drawing on the creature and the planet. In the fight that follows, Starkiller manages to stop Shaak Ti's lightsaber less than a millimeter from his own skin, using a desperate telekinetic block. Later, he leaps into the jaws of a massive bull Rancor, holds its mouth open with the Force, and blasts it with lightning from the inside until a surge of kinetic energy explodes its head. He also disarms Maris Brood, Shaak Ti's dark side trainee, by lifting a mound of bones with the Force and then bringing her down with Sith lightning. One by one, these Jedi and near Jedi fail before him. Rom Koda, Kazdan Paratus, Shaak Ti, Maris Brood. Bail Organa would later say he has not seen anything like Starkiller's strength since the Clone Wars. The list of established figures he can defeat grows longer, and he is still not at his peak. The third reason is that he performs feats that should be impossible. If this represents only the early stage of his power, it raises the question of what occurs when Starkiller extends the Force past the limits accepted by others. Later, when he turns against the Empire, his missions shift from assassination to open war. On Bespin and Corellia, he throws himself at Imperial forces that would usually need starfighters or full armies. He tears crates and barrels apart with the Force, turns a mechanical walker against its own side, and deflects blaster bolts back at stormtroopers. At one point, he even unleashes such a massive telekinetic surge that an entire dock bends under the pressure and a Black Guard is hurled across the space. These Black Guards are elite darkside enforcers, but Starkiller still meets their Sith lightning with his own and slowly overpowers it, driving their energy back into them until they die. He tosses a walker into giant spinning fan blades, then rips the fan off its mount to crush another Black Guard. When a supply balloon crashes on his enemies, he sweeps the entire pile of wreckage off the dock with a single cathartic flex of telekinesis. Every time the Empire brings a new trick, the apprentice treats it like a toy. But the moment that really locks in his legend is the Star Destroyer. After he helps destroy a shipyard, Rom Koda challenges him to do something that should be impossible. Use the Force to direct a plummeting Star Destroyer. In the novel Star Wars: The Force Unleashed, Starkiller plunges his will down into the chasm toward the falling warship and drags its entire physical presence into his awareness. He takes a ship nearly 1,600 meters long, weighing millions of tons, and begins to move it by shifting his finger. But this goes beyond simply making it move. He has to fight the ship's momentum and pilot it into a controlled crash that destroys the cannon aimed at him. Rom Koda tells him that size means nothing to him, a statement about where Starkiller now sits on the power curve. The campaign guide even describes him as Darth Vader's secret servant, capable of moving Star Destroyers with nothing but his will. In other words, he is not just a strong Jedi or Sith, he is operating at a level where capital ships become pieces on his personal game board. The finale of the Death Star keeps raising that bar. Starkiller fights his way through Imperial troops, choking, coercing, and killing as he goes. He stops a huge fan with the Force just so he can pass. Then, he faces Darth Vader and defeats him. The text describes Vader forced back on his heels, his armored throat slashed, his lightsaber torn from his grip, and even a massive energy field generator ripped out of the floor and hurled at him. Finally, Starkiller confronts the Emperor. Palpatine hits him with the full power of his Sith lightning. Instead of collapsing, Starkiller takes it directly into his body and walks forward through pain. At the end, he unleashes a shockwave so powerful that it strikes fleeing Imperial forces and fills him with the sense that a star has ignited in his chest. The legends tell us that in this last, self-sacrificing moment, he embraces the Force so completely that all of his earlier dark-side efforts look like the efforts of a child. When the Emperor later tells Vader that Starkiller is now more powerful than ever, even though he is dead, it sounds like a cruel remark, but it also matches what the story has been building toward. Every time Starkiller faces something that should kill him, what does not kill him only makes him more powerful on the dark side. Even as a memory and an inspiration, his power keeps growing. The fourth reason is that his clone surpasses even the original. Someone with that much power cannot simply be left in the past, which naturally raises the question of how a character even stronger than him could exist. In Legends, the solution is extreme but straightforward. They clone him and unleash his full